Thank you, Cahirlock. And first I want to welcome the Minister to the House and to say that this is to basically, this commences matters in relation to the LEADER programme, which you, Minister, will be very, very aware of. And I know you know the enormous benefits of the LEADER programme. And I suppose it's detailing really and asking some questions and seeking clarification in relation to the funding of LEADER or the next round of funding. And so we know that the local development companies under LEADER were initially set up in response to the multidimensional nature of the social inclusion throughout local areas, would be responsive, innovative, of integrated approaches in terms of building the partnership model that you'd be very familiar with, and local ownership. So it's the OECD 2005 recommendations. Today they offer, the LEADER programme offers best placed local solutions for the challenges for urban and renewal development across Ireland. And they've worked, Minister, and they've worked very successfully, and there's been great partnership and buy-in to the LEADER programme. And I think there's a great future for the LEADER programme, and I think it has the potential to expand given the right supports and given the appropriate resources. So today we know there are 14 urban and 35 rural local development companies covering the entire state of the 26 counties. More could be done if there were more resources, and so the implementation of their plan is really, really important, and therefore it raises the issue about the next phase of LEADER. You know, Minister, we all know the significance and the importance of the LEADER, so I'm not going to go on and give a lesson here, or a history lesson in the success of LEADER, other than say I know the government is committed to it. I know there are limited resources, and there's always pressure on resources and finances from central government, but I think this LEADER programme has worked really well. And I am very familiar with a number of them, and I'm just going to call out a few that I have been in touch with. Ballyfermot Chapel Partnership, the Bray Urban Area Partnership, the Cavan County Local Development Plan, the Galway Rural Development Company, to name but a few. So, as I say, the real ask is, where are we now in relation to the next round of funding for the LEADER programme? I think the organisers, the people involved, need to know in terms of planning for the future. Thank you.
Minister, you have 4 minutes to respond.
Thanks, Chair, and I want to thank Senator Victor Boyhan for raising this very, very important issue. Like yourself, I will be a big supporter of the work that the leaders do. I think they've achieved quite a lot over the last number of years, and look forward to their success in the future as well. So I would very much, I'm happy to recognise and to confirm that I would be supportive of their work. And I think many people are in these houses as well, because they've achieved quite a lot working with our communities directly right across the country, both urban and rural as well, and something we want to build on their success. And I look forward to continue working with them as well and supporting their work. So I'm glad, Senator, to raise this issue on behalf of all the leaders and the leader groups. The LEADER programme is a key intervention of our rural future. The government's policy for rural development launched last year, which aims to deliver a range of actions to rural communities over the lifetime of the policy. LEADER, as you referenced yourself, is a multi-annual programme for rural development co-funded by the EU through the Common Agricultural Policy. The programme is based on a community-led approach to rural development and plays an important role in supporting communities and enterprises in rural areas and in certain urban areas in progressing job creation, social inclusion and environmental projects at local level. Local action groups, otherwise known as LAGs, who administer the programme at local level, have approved over 5,200 projects nationally to the value of 220 million since the 2014-2020 LEADER programme began in mid-2016. The type of supports provided include construction projects, biodiversity, renewable energy projects, analysis and development type projects, as well as marketing and training projects. These projects bring much needed assistance to small business at this time, as well as supporting job retention and new employment opportunities. As we look to the future and the next LEADER programme, in April 2021, Minister Heather Humphreys launched a 2-year transitional LEADER programme for 21 and 22, which ensured for the first time that there was no funding gap between this programming period and the next programme, which will begin in 2023. 250 million has been made available for LEADER for the period 2021-2027, maintaining the level of funding provided for the current programming period. This funding is comprised of 70 million for the transitional period 2021-2022 and an additional 180 million from 23 to 27. This level of funding is evidence of the government's continued support for the LEADER programme. Preparations for the design and delivery of the next LEADER programme from 23-27 are well underway, and there is ongoing engagement between the Department of Rural and Community Development officials and stakeholders in this regard. Decisions relating to all aspects of the programme will be considered as part of the ongoing programme design and phase. It is proposed, Senator, to hold the local development strategy LAG selection process over 2 stages. The selection of the lags cannot commence until the CAP strategic plan is approved by the EU Commission, otherwise known as the CSP, which is expected to happen later in the year. However, the first stage, which is an expression of interest by eligible groups, could commence in advance of the CSP approval in order to be ready to launch the second stage once the CSP is approved. The ongoing engagement and consultation with stakeholders, combined with the funding allocation of 250 million indicated, will ensure that the LEADER programme from 2023 will continue to support and further develop our rural communities and businesses and certain urban areas as well.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you, Cathaoirleach. Minister, thanks very much. I suppose, look, it's welcome, but there's a bit of uncertainty there. There's a bit of vagueness about it. It will, it could, it may. You know, I'd like something a bit stronger than that. Now, I know this is not directly your department as such, but maybe you might bring back to the officials in the department some greater certainty. And look, we're very familiar with the CSP as you are and lags, but I think and I do welcome the fact that today you've confirmed there is engagement, but I think we need something more solid, because I'm hearing from people engaged in LEADER who prompted this commencement matter. This isn't me, I'm acting on behalf of people involved. They say there's a certain amount of degree of uncertainty about it. This reply today confirms that sense of uncertainty in that could and may and shall and will and hope. And I don't doubt anyone's commitment to it, but I think it's important that we continue the communication. 2023 is a bit a while away. So look, I want to thank you for coming to the House. I want to thank you for the positive response. But can I say, let's have strong communication with all the people involved in LEADER, and I wish LEADER continued success.
Minister.
Raising this issue, and I'm sorry that Minister Heather Humphreys couldn't be here to take the debate herself, but as you know, she certainly is committed, and I'll certainly bring back your concerns and your message that we need to strengthen the commitment and the language. I would again point to the budget that's set aside and approved by government, as well as the targets to have the engagement completed this year and plans roll out in time as well. But I'll certainly bring it back that if there's concerns there, they're dealt with. I'm meeting my own Mead partnership, I think this week, along with our MEPs as well, to analyse and discuss their work, because every time you meet them, they're doing more work and more services. And I think I know it's a similar story right throughout the country as well. There's great interventions there. Again, working with communities, bringing communities together in many areas too. So we're very much committed to it, but I hear your concerns about the length of time or the commitments. Commitments are strong. It does take time, but we need to speed them up. So I'll certainly bring that back to Minister Heather Humphreys. And as you know, she's a very much can-do minister, so she'll drive on and make sure these things get done on time as well. So.
Thanks.